Hello everybody, welcome to, after a long time, Uno platform live coding stream. A lot has happened since, so it's gonna be fun to kind of get back to it. And for today, I wanted to go back to something that I started before Christmas, and that's the UnoDoom game, which you can find on my GitHub. And it's basically a port of, well, it has a quite strong lineage. So the beginning of this is, of course, that's the wrong link, I think. Oh, it should be a different link. That's not it. Well, okay, so there is a Linux Doom port. From that port came Managed Doom, which is a C# version of Linux Doom. So okay, so basically, so this is the Linux Doom. Oh, that's probably it. So this is the Linux Doom port that's from id Software directly. Then there is the Managed Doom that's written in C#, and it's basically just translated Linux Doom into C#. So that was made by the open source community, and from that one comes Doom.mobile, which was built by Taublast, and it's a port of that Managed Doom code into Maui. So now this is a Maui version of the same game. So that's this one, and from that one finally comes UnoDoom, which is a port of the Maui version of the Managed Doom of the Linux port into Uno platform. So this is the Uno platform version of the Doom game, and it's actually available on Azure website, so you can try it out. This is annoying. I have to turn it off. So it's available on the browser, and you can clone the source code, contribute to it, or even make changes. I'll be happy to see that if you do that. And what is the way how to disable this? I will disable this. Okay, so it's running in the browser, and it's running now in smooth 60 FPS beauty. So originally the source code used SK-XAML element or SK-XAML control, I'm not sure what it's called, and that one was not hardware accelerated. Now I updated the source code to use the proper SK canvas element, which is our own hardware accelerated Skia Sharp canvas that's going to be used in Uno platform, and you can see it's super smooth and super fast. So now this game can be played in browser. You can try it out there, and the cool thing is that it's actually available on mobile, it's available on iOS, it's available on the browser, it's available on desktop by the virtue of it being a Uno platform application. So that's fun. But it's missing some things. So one thing that I find pretty problematic is that you can only play this, well, not the original Doom, I think. That's what I would call it. This is a open source and not licensed kind of set of maps that you can run in the browser, that you can run as an open source project, but the resource files and the assets of Doom, the original ones, are not really, distributable. So I cannot really deploy them here because that would violate the licensing of the Doom as an open source port. So what we can do is to ship this free Doom version. That's fine. That could be there as a default version, but we could also add a feature before you even start the game to select the resource file from your local device and load that into the game. So if you happen to have downloaded those WAT files for the proper Doom, the original Doom or Doom 2, you could load them into the browser and play that Doom then. So I see there is Jose Silva. Hi, nice to see you. Yes, thank you for the nice words. The live sessions, I hope to do them more regularly now. I had a long time off, but you can join our Uno platform Discord, where the event is always announced and you can see there. So you can join from that event. There is a event link and you can see the calendar as well. And generally it should happen on Thursdays around this time. So this is where we are. So yes, let's go to UnoDoom. I will stop this. I think I just was trying out if it works in the WebAssembly version, but it does. So now what I would like to do is to add an additional page that's coming before you even start the game and allows you to either go with the default FreeDoom WAD file, or you could load your own. So this is the FreeDoom, that's what's being shown there, but there is also the WAD file for the original Doom, and that's what we want to get displayed there. I will just find if I have downloaded that. I think I did somewhere. Oh yes, here we go. So I have Doom 1 downloaded here. Let's see if it's the right one. Yes, it should be. So I have this Doom 1 downloaded as a file locally, and what I would like to do is to present a screen before you start the game that allows you to either select the free Doom that's already shipped with the WebAssembly version and Uno platform repository itself, but also to use the file open picker, select the file that you have locally and load it as the game that you want to play. So that's what I want to do, and I will try to use AI for it because we have now the Uno platform MCP that is running here. I have Uno and Uno App MCP. This one is pretty useful because it allows you to take your application and start it up locally and click through it and try it out to see if it actually works. And if it does, then you can then it can confirm that all the changes that it did were valid. So what I can do is ask it to add this new page. So please add a new pre-game page that will show up as the initial page of the app. This page should allow for WAD file selection. By default, it should show the FreeDoom that's shipping with the repository, but there should also be a file open picker button to open local file and load it as a WAD file into application data local folder. So this is the place where you can store local data that are available to your application, and that is what the app is currently doing actually in the asset loader phase. I think that it's preparing the asset files and copying those into so it's loading some asset file, and then it's actually here it's copying the file from the application package to the local folder of the application so that it can then run from it. So it needs to be loaded inside of the local storage of the browser so that it can read that WAD file. So that's what we are going to do. So the selected file should be copied there, and it should appear in the list of available WAD files. User selects one of the WAD files. They can then start the game, which will transition them to the current main page that will be renamed to game page, for example. I will be renamed to game page instead. So that's kind of what I want to do. And the navigation parameter here will provide the bat file name that should be loaded. Okay, so hopefully that's it. And now I will use the plan mode so that the AI can kind of go through the source code and understand what's there and plan how it will approach this request. So in the meantime, I can kind of walk you through what is there. So the UnoDoom application is using the ManageDoom source code that's coming directly from that other ManageDoom repository, and that one contains all the logic for the game itself. So all the logic is basically just copy pasted, or it's matching exactly what ManageDoom is doing. And then on top of that, you are supposed to provide some implementations of interfaces. So iVideo and iMusic and iSound, all these things you need to implement yourself for your application, for your game to work on a specific target that you want to support. And currently, the music and sound are not implemented. We can try to add that as well, but for now it's not implemented. And then for the video part, we are using this SK-XAML canvas, SK canvas element, and that one is rendering with hardware acceleration on the screen. So that's the video, and there is also user input, which implements user input and provides user input so that the application knows which buttons are pressed and what the user is actually doing. The interesting thing here is that I also added support for gamepad input. So this is kind of a separate input implementation that's being loaded with the game, and that one allows you to control the game with Xbox controller or PlayStation controller. So this is fun, and you can try it out even with the browser. You can connect it and run it from there. And if you happen to have a car that has a browser, you can even connect your controller to the car and then control the game from there. So that's pretty fun. So let's see what the AI has done in the meantime. It's kind of exploring the source code. So we'll let it work. In the meantime, this is a kind of interesting part of the source code. This is the touch input support, and I can show it to you here in the desktop target. Let's see. I'll run it here. So it's running here, and this button allows you to use touch to control the game. Actually, it works with the mouse as well, but it's not that useful, I think. So if I kind of select this, and then I can actually walk with the joystick here, but it's just something you wouldn't do if you have a keyboard, right? So, but these controls is something that was not available with the ManageDoom implementation, not with the mobile implementation from MAUI. They have their own touch input. So I needed to implement this as Uno platform specific control, and that is this touch input overlay controls, which is a user control that has transparency, and it's displayed on top of the game page, and it contains all these ellipses and buttons and so on. And when you kind of see the source code here, it kind of reads the input that you send to it and then sends that information to the game to be processed. So kind of you can see the pointer pressed handler that goes through all the different buttons that are being handled, and finally when it's done, then it will send the information to the game to be processed. So it kind of sets key status, for example, for fire button being pressed and so on. This way the game knows what we are doing, even if we are doing the touch input instead of keyboard input. So this is this. interesting. There is also the hot design toolbar. I can actually enter hot design inside of the game itself, so I could if I wanted to, but it's not very useful in this specific case because the game itself is made basically all the way rendered using just Skia sharp canvas. But you can see it's like I could drag and drop controls if I wanted, but yeah, this is not really useful for this kind of application, so I can add a button there. But yeah, so there is a button now. Not really something that I need to do in this case, but it's fun to see that hot design does work even with a game being rendered. So what I will check how the AI is processing so far. So yeah, we need to give it access to a specific file. So I will let it crunch a little bit more. And in the meantime, I will just go to our Uno platform repository and kind of multitask a little bit. Oops, sorry about that. So I want to show you something here. Yes. So in our repo, I will just load one of my pull requests here. So way back, we worked on this PR that adds support for application data container settings, and that's being that has progressed since a lot. There's a lot of comments from Copilot I will need to go through, but the nice thing is that it currently should be working on all targets except for, I think, iOS, where there is an issue where the system itself is saving some application settings into the settings section, and that means that some of the settings stay there even if you, for example, clear all settings, and that is something that the runtime tests are not counting on. So they are kind of the tests that are clearing all the settings and checking if there is no setting left don't work, because there always is some system setting that cannot be deleted. But otherwise, on WebAssembly it should be passing all the tests, and we can actually do a small review of those changes so that we can get that PR closer to be merged. All right, so let's see what happens here. So there is a lot of tests that have been added to this with this version. Okay, so there is this which says yes. All right, so there is this test. I can actually open edit this, because this I've confirmed that WinUI doesn't call the version multiple times. So when you jump multiple versions, it's being called just once. So that's actually here confirmed. Current version and desired version there. But this is interesting. So if you try to set the version to be the same version that's already being set, will the handler be called? That's something I didn't check. So we can check that in the meantime while the AI is still crunching the UnoDoom source code. I will go and create a new WinUI application to confirm the behavior, and based on that comparison, I will see if the application is behaving the right way. Okay, so we have a WinUI application. I will create it here. I have a special folder for throwaway projects because there is a lot of them. I just need to often confirm behavior against WinUI or confirm behavior in different versions of Uno platform, so that I just create a throwaway folder and kind of throw away everything that's there after some time, because it otherwise piles up and there is a lot of those things lingering. But so we have this app 8 now. I will create a button. That button will say click me, and there is going to be a click handler, and this one will basically do what we do in that test. So I will take this whole thing. There is no fluent assertions in the sources, but I can still do basically this. I can put a breakpoint here, and I can see what happens if that. I can see if that breakpoint will be called or not. Right. Okay. Okay. So the AI is done with the processing. So let's check what it created. So yeah, it's asking me for some clarification. So for back navigation, should there be a way to return from the game back to the VAT selection screen via exit button or menu option? Yes, there should be back navigation. Yes, it should be an overlay button similar to the show touch controls. So this should be an overlay button that would allow me to go back to the pre-game selection and switch to a different VAT file if I want to. Should be able remember the last selected VAT file between sessions. I mean, always start fresh, I think. Yeah, always start fresh. Always start fresh, and keep the VAT files. So they are preserved across launches. Okay, so there is a delete VATs question. Should the user be able to delete user edit VAT files from the list? Well, I mean, yes. I mean, it's probably useful to be able to delete them after they are loaded, because otherwise you could have a lot of them, and that wouldn't be ideal. So let's answer these questions and come back to it when it's done. So I'll click the button here, and it seems the handler is being called, and it's being called with the set version request that's saying the current version is 0 and desired version is 0. So it's kind of saying you're trying to update to the same version that we already have. What I can try to do, set version 1, I will just try to update it to version 1 so that it doesn't behave differently. So set version request, current version will be 0, desired version 1. It's done now. Now I click here. It should be now saying 1.1. Yeah, that's fine. So set version handler is always called even if the version number is the same. Yeah, so we can adjust this test to have this behavior that we expect. So I will just find the right branch here. Okay, where do we have it? I need to get... here we go. We'll just rebase to the latest master so that we can see... I can have everything that's there. And it should be on... What's the last commit? Yeah. All right, so that's the one. I will just force push so that I update it, and I will open it here. And let's open the source in Visual Studio Code, for example. Should be enough. And here. So that this test should be testing not only the fact that the version is the same, it should be testing also the arcs are giving you the same version, the current version and desired version are the same, and it should also confirm that the handler is called. So let's adjust this. So I will ask the agent to do it. Adjust test to validate that the handler is called once, and that the arcs current version and desired version are the same, and that's it, I think. Yes. So it should be a quick and easy adjustment. Let's do auto. Yeah, just do this and we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, let's see what happens with our Doom. Yeah, so in the Doom world, we have now a plan to do this change. So VAD Manager is a new class that will contain VAD info, class with properties, which will be file name, full path is bundled file size. And the available VADs will enumerate VADs from assets and local folder. This will copy the selected VAD to user VADs folder, and it will delete. This will delete. What I am afraid here is the full path, because we don't have. That is something that you don't have on WebAssembly. There is just a file name, but on WebAssembly you don't have a full path itself. It's not a absolute path. Even though for the files in local data, that should be actually in local folder, there should be a full path, so it should be probably okay. So these are helpers, and then we have the pregame page. Yep, we have the icon, list you with all the available VADs, yeah, and we can add a VAD file and start game button. Yes, great. I think there is no need to do swipe action, so I don't swipe to delete. Button is enough. Then there is. Actually, I can edit the file myself here. So swipe option. Where is it? Swipe. So button. Loading overlay for async operations. Yes, so because the operations, the file operations will be asynchronous and will happen, will take some time because those files are not that small. So that loading overlay is something that will be helpful. We want to load the VAD list on page load. That is okay. And then handle file picker if button specific initialization, because in WinUI the window handle is required for the file picker to work. Even though there's a new file picker in town in WinUI. So WinUI and new file pickers. I think there's a new file picker available that we need to add, and this file picker will have a better API that's using app window instead of the odd handle based operation. So that will be helpful, but yeah, I will not search for it now. So the pregame page. So it's going to copy selected files to user VADs folder and navigate to game page with the VAD path as parameter and handle that with confirmation. That's fine. So I think that is pretty okay. Then we have faster name. Yeah, we are going to change the main page to game page, update the class, and yeah, in the code behind we need to do that update as well and pass the VAD path property. The initialization well, part of the initialization. Because we need to currently initializing in a constructor, which is something that will not be enough, because we need to do that only after we know what's the navigation parameter there. Files to modify here, UnoDoom app downloads. Yes, we need to switch to pregame page as the default page, and yes, we need to allow the page to access the main window of the application. And then what's here? Initialize game async. Okay, what is this coming from? So this is the initialize game, and it seems that it's doing command line args, but it should be navigation parameter instead. And then we have UnoDoom game XAML that will add the exit button overlay or back button. Yes. And we also need to add one more thing. When game is exited from the game menu, we should also return to pregame page. So that's something that is not happening there currently, because when you exit the game, it kind of stops rendering and nothing else happens. So that's something that will make it a little bit nicer. And yeah, I think that's it. So we have some implementation steps that we can go through. It's gonna do all these updates. It all seems kind of okay. And file open picker, yes, exactly. For these platforms, we need to copy everything to local folder. And actually, let's do it for all platforms. So that is consistent. So files must be copied for persistence, and use get file from application URI for bundled assets, and build on all platforms. Yeah, we can actually build on Net 10 desktop, so we can run it on desktop. Then we can run it using the Uno app MCP, and then we will be able to select the file. Yes, you will need interaction there. So yeah, I think that's what we wanted. So I will close this and let's allow the AI to work. So I will let it go through it automatically. I think the plan is pretty good, so it should be able to figure it out, and I will let it work. And in the meantime, let's go back to our test. So the changes that we got is that the handler should be called. So the version should remain to be the current version. The handler call count should be 1, and then the current version and the desired version should be both the same and should match the current version of the application. So that seems okay, and I think we can push this change. So I'll update. Let's with WinUI behavior. All right, push this, and let's continue with the review in the meantime. Right, so that's the runtime test for application data. There is runtime test for application data container. These are quite extensive. So this one, let's see what it says. It doesn't test the existing disposition behavior. Consider. Okay. That's a pretty good point. I think there is no tests that are testing the existing disposition option. So we can ask AI to generate some additional tests that we can then confirm against WinUI. So I will go here to container and run it. So I will create a new chat and validate is what's called application type, create disposition existing behavior, and let's put opus on it. Right. Right, should be good. So in the meantime, the AI is working here. And why is it using the command line args? I didn't ask it to do that. Well, we can probably fix that. So where is this coming from? What path? And that's coming from where? Where is it set? Okay, it's not being set yet. Okay, here. Okay, so it's basically... It was there at least, and it's not there anymore. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so it's setting that parameter here, and that's the parameter that it's trying to read. So basically, yeah, it's calling it command line arguments, but it's not really command line arguments because it's a navigation parameter. Hello Gruk125. What we are doing here is we are trying to update Uno platform Doom game to support the selection of different resources files, so we can play the original Doom, not just the free Doom variant that's open source. So the repository of UnoDoom ships with free Doom, which is open source and not licensed, but you cannot really play Doom 1 or Doom 2 without loading their WAD files, which are proprietary, and you are allowed to download them but not really ship them with your repository. So that's what I want to achieve here, so that the user can select it and use it. So it seems that AI is done, so we'll run it and we'll see what happens. So it succeeded the build, that's pretty promising. And succeeded, nice. And we should be able to run it, I hope. So come on, let's do it. Okay, so there's some binding issue. Okay, so it's using bool to visibility converter. It's something that really does not, it shouldn't be necessary anymore, but with xbind, with binding it's necessary. So that's the right choice there. So yeah, it's adding that converter. I'll see what happens. So let's go back to this in the meantime. So we are adding that test for existing behavior. I actually should duplicate comments, so I will resolve one of those. And there is a new set of new files, new tests. All of them seem to be testing the right thing, and we will be able to confirm it against WinUI. So Oh, okay, here we go. So there is a FreeDoom running. So UnoDoom running with the FreeDoom parameter. And let's see if it's gonna do something else with it. So, oops. The game is running there. I haven't... Oh, there was a issue with calling the tool. That's interesting. Alright, but it's running, so I'll start the game here. It seems to be working fine. I will quit the game and press Y. And it gives us back to the main screen. That's fine. And now let's try to select the WAT file that is Doom 1. So Doom. Where is it? Here we go. So this is the folder. So here is our Doom 1 WAT file. I'll select it. It's now loaded. And let's try to start it. Oh, okay, nice. So this is the original Doom running in the game now, and I can, let's see, I just close this. Can I control it with? Okay, so keyboard is not working after I returned back, but that's something we can adjust probably. But we can just run it to see if, yes, that's Doom 1. Okay. We have Doom 1 running inside of UnoDoom. That's pretty cool. Let's shoot this barrel. This is not touch, so it's not easy. There you go. Come on. And one more movement. No. Okay, shoot. Oh. I was too fast. Oh, nice. Okay, it's exploding. Everything seems to be working well. So that's nice. Now the problem is the keyboard that's not being handled. We can probably debug that, but let's go back to UnoDoom here. Okay, the exit button, we can try that as well actually. So if we close this and click the exit button, we return to the main page, and still the keyboard input is not working. So yeah, this seems to be a general problem that we need to handle. But switching between different games seems to be working. So that's at least something that's promising. So now, let's try to delete. Yeah, it's okay, failed to delete all. So there is something more. I'm guessing the file could be still open, but we'll see. It's still working, so that's good. I will close this for now, and maybe no. Let's wait for me, and I will try to run it locally and to see if the keyboard handling is actually working, or if you're hitting those keyboard input handlers correctly. So when I run the game here, yeah, because it's trying to access gamepads, it's fine. This is not implemented on Skia desktop. But yeah, so this is now working, but if I go there again, I get no keyboard input, right? So there's something that must be happening between the runs of the game, and I can confirm that if I go here. So the game starts, it loads the keyboard input, and if I go to the user input and press, I don't know, virtual key to Doom, for example, here, and press enter, it registers the enter key. That's fine. But if I go back and run it again, we no longer get that at all. So there is something missing in there. Hello, MCNets, nice to see you again. So I am not sure what's happening specifically. We could ask AI if it is able to notice some pattern that's not working well, but I can still debug while it's working as well. So Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see if it's able to find that reason. But in the meantime, let's see what happens if I run the game and Uno input. This is being initialized, so that is fine. But it might be actually that. Yeah, right. I think I know what's happening here. So it could be that the keys are being handled by the previous instance instead of the current version. Yes, basically what is happening here, what we are doing is the UnoDoom, that's our Uno platform port of Doom, and now it's running on the desktop, but it can run even on the browser or anywhere. And there is this selector that allows you to select WAT files, which are kind of resource files for Doom. So you can actually play the original Doom as id Software intended it. So just ignore that. Yeah. So this is the original Doom, exactly as it was before in 1993. So that's fun. But I need to understand why the keyboard input is not working after what you once go through the game. So what is it's oh, I need to understand that thing. That's completed. Yeah, okay. So when the focus is never properly released. Okay. So losing focus handler unconditionally cancels all focus loss. Okay. So yeah, that's probably actually it, because the to make sure that that all the input is being captured, there is this losing focus, or is it losing focus handler, and this one is handling all focus until, well, forever. And if the control is unloaded, it's still trying to keep the focus on that unloaded control which no longer exists. So that is probably the reason behind this problem. So what we can do is okay, let's see what's the plan there, to actually unhook that losing focus would be fair. Yes. Can you also unsubscribe? So we'll unsubscribe that as well. But the idea is that before the first instance of the game grabbed all focus and never released it. That was a problem. So I think that could be actually the cause of everything. Yes. So exit button, losing focus, request exit, losing focus. So yeah, that should be it. So let it work. I'll approve the edits. So hopefully that's the fix that we need. So for this one, I just switching context a little bit. So in this one, we added some additional tests that we can validate against WinUI, so we can confirm they work properly. But I will do that after I confirm these changes. So this is fine, and maybe it's the only change actually. What else it should be doing, right? Because when you exit, you can just unsubscribe and that's it. Hello, Dominic. Nice to see you again. We saw each other already today, but you know, see you again, right? So how are your PRs going? right, so this should be resolved. We'll actually commit those tests in the meantime. So validate application data is position existing. That's a mouthful. Push it. And what is happening here in the UnoDoom world? It's done basically. That was the only change. So let's see what happens if we try to run it again and if it actually solves the issue. Right, so we have the freedom, let's start the game. Okay, there's a false positive about the gamepads. It's actually not implemented, so it's throwing the right thing, but we don't need gamepads here. And Visual Studio froze. Oh no. Okay, there we go. I can press the enter key and it is being handled, so that confirms that the initial launch works. And now if we exit the game and start again, you get the same exception, but the enter key now works, so that should be okay. All right, we can now play Doom 1. Nice. There we go. Doom 1 as intended. All right. Actually, this same game, of course, because it's Uno platform, it's running on Android, on iOS with the touch control, so you can then try it out, clone it, and deploy it to those devices and play Doom there. You can, of course, use file open picker on those platforms, so you can quite easily select the file and then play it. Okay, let's finish this first level. All right, here we go. Exit and press the button. Ooh, yes. Okay, so we finished the first level. That is kind of what is required for you to be able to call it a it can run Doom. Wait, let me see. On my in my blog post, I included there's a few fun ports of Doom running on different devices, but there is a fun website called Can It Run Doom, and it kind of shows, oh, here is our UnoDoom port already showing. Nice. I submitted it just after releasing the blog post, and it's there. So yeah, it's officially Uno platform running on a Tesla browser with gamepad controller in the browser. That's just fun. So this is the Uno platform version of Doom there. That's cool. So on this website, when you are adding the entry, you have to confirm that the first level is completable. And yeah, we just completed it, so that's confirmed. All right, let's go back here. What I can try also is to see if I can download the Doom 2 WAD file. And to see if that can be Doom 2 WAD file. Okay. Just to confirm it works. But yeah, now that the Uno platform Doom is using hardware acceleration instead of software rendering, it really runs much faster on the Tesla. And I have to try it out now with the proper Doom WAD files. Even though, that's a good question. How would we do that without file open picker, which is not available on a Tesla? Okay, that's a fun challenge. We can actually still do it. If we have that Doom WAD file deployed somewhere, we could load it from a URL and then load it into the game. So yeah, what's happening here? That seems to be a problem, yeah. And I was afraid of that because the Doom 2 has a slightly different source code, so there might be a problem with how the WAT file structure looks like. And I'm not sure if that's properly supported even in the Manage Doom source. So that's something that we would have to look into. But already the success is already that the Doom 1 WAT file is working fine. That's what I actually wanted here. And that means that we can now push these changes. So this is the exit from the game, loading of the specific WAT file, and there is the WAT manager that kind of shows the WAT files and the supported IWAT names. Do we need this? That's probably for the initial discovery of WAT files from the application bundle. So that's fine. We can keep that there. That was actually in the original source code. It was discovering which WAT files are available with the package. And then there are the user ones that you can load yourself, and that is then being displayed in the list view. So yeah, so that's this, and then there is the window being public, then rename of the main page to be game page. So basically it's a rename and changing a few things there. It's basically the same thing, just renamed. And there is the exit requested event that's being handled to navigate you back to the main page. And finally the pre-game page, which is has the converters, and then the main page which prepares the WATs and then allows you to add a new WAT by file open picker. And that's this. Oh yeah, there is a question if there is a repository for the Doom code, and there is UnoDoom on my UnoDoom repository here, so you can go there. And I think I'm not sure if I am able to send a link, because it would get probably okay, so I sent the path to that GitHub repository, but this is a public repository you can contribute to. You can help me build up UnoDoom to support additional things like sound support or music support, which is not yet there. So this could be a pretty nice thing to have. Yes, there is a question from Challenges XMe, which is what we are doing, and that's we are kind of trying to improve our UnoDoom port, which is a port of the Doom game to Uno platform. And you say that you cannot hear me. I hope you can hear me because I've been talking the whole time. Hopefully it's my voice is there. Can someone confirm if you can hear me? But yeah, I think that's it. So I will push this. This whole thing is okay. This is just a UI with the list view and the button, and there are some start game and add WAT button. Nothing too fancy, but it works. So I will just add WAT file selection and push that as a change. And now in the UnoDoom I can create the pull request, and I will be able to merge it. And when it's merged, it should be available. Nice, thank you for confirming that you can hear me. It should be able to get that deployed on WebAssembly version of Doom, so it's available in the browser. But I can actually run it in the browser. Let's run it. By the way, it should be possible here as well, but I will show it here for now. So the WebAssembly version, I will run it, but if you are using Cloud Code or any other AI agent, you can still you can use the Uno app MCP that would be able to launch your application and actually click through it. So there is a feature for that available. So hopefully this will launch our WAT selection. As discovering WAT files. This might take a bit. Yes, so Freedom is there. I can start it up and it should get loaded, and it still works, so that's fine. Yeah, but ignore that slowness because we are in debug mode, so the rendering is very slow. But it's much faster when you have release mode and you are actually using the hardware acceleration. So that should be okay. And I will open the Doom 1 BUT file. It's being copied to local folder. That takes a bit, but it's there now and I can start a game. And it's running in the browser now. Okay, so we have the UnoDoom in WebAssembly version running Doom 1. I just ignore that slowness again. I'll merge it PR when it should be deployed in the staging Azure website, so we can confirm it works very soon. For some pages you're getting a 503. For some pages of what specifically? If it's GitHub, maybe they have a outage or something. So this is this step is deploying the application to Azure static websites. Okay, I see the link now. Oh, it's interesting. That's very interesting. You cannot access that file even though it's there. That's weird. So maybe there is an outage in GitHub because that should be working. Let's see if I do manage Doom. Source. And so what was that? Manage Doom share. Oh, shared, right? Manage Doom shared. So if I select one of those files, Doom math something, trigonometry, that, okay, that's interesting. Not sure why that is happening, but it does seem there is an outage. There's GitHub status. Oh yeah, there's something definitely going wrong here. So that's probably it. Hopefully it will fix itself soon. So this is still building. It takes a bit to build, but when it's done, I will merge the PR and we will be done for today's live coding session. I started later than I wanted to, so I have to end earlier as well. But we will be back next week with some more fun stuff, and also we will continue to finalize this application data container PR that has been there for a long time. It's actually very close to be done. I just need to confirm that it can work against iOS, but otherwise it should be good to go. So let's see if it finishes soon enough. Okay, it's deploying now, and when it deploys, we should get a temporary link that we can try out. All right, come on. All right, here we go. The cool thing now is that the AI being part of the working process it allows us to actually do multiple things at the same time, where we can have multiple PRs and each agent is doing its own thing and it's kind of solving another issue, and then ultimately they all come together and you can merge the changes more easily, more faster, because you can get multiple issues investigated faster simultaneously instead of you being the only brain in the process. So here we go. We have the UnoDoom on this temporary site, and I can actually merge it now so that it's deployed to the actual production URL. So it's discovering still. It's taking its time. Hopefully there's no problem there. Yeah, okay, it's there. Okay, so we have a free Doom, but we can run it. It's playable, boo boo boo. And we can go back and add Doom 1 to the mix. What is the path again? I always lose it. So it's Doom 1 here, and we should be able to open that and run it. Good. So we have Doom 1 running in the browser, and it's working well, and we can shoot stuff. I'm not a good shooter, but it's actually Doom running in the browser without any changes. And we basically just tested on desktop, and it's running in the browser because this is Uno platform and it runs everywhere. So yeah, that's it. So once this PR is deployed, you will be able to test the same version that we just built on the production link here in the README file. It might take a bit, so just wait for the build to finalize. But yeah, I think that's it from today's live coding session, and I thank you for joining me for today, and we will see each other in the next one, hopefully next week. So